let's get rolling here. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, and just like that, we're ready to rumble here. How's the stream looking? Smooth sailing, no technical difficulties. Love it. Let's try d4. Jumps right over. Nice. Let's try knight f6. Let's see if I can say knight f3. Let's try another d4. Oh, that's right. I get to play white in all the games. e4 best by test. And, well, let's try c4. A little bit of variety. Knight f3. So my apologies in advance, those of you chatting away here on Twitch. I'm ignoring you. I can't pay attention to the chat. My focus really has to be for this simul here. Yeah, so the next good probably 50 minutes or so, I'm going to be glued in here, and we're going to do some other cool stuff after this. Okay, what to do? Let's try c4 instead of d4. Oh, this is a different rating. I see. Might be one of the first few games playing with this time control. d4 or capture and then d4. I'm going to be going with that. I think they were in pre-move mode just then. Force of will. Let's go with knight f3. And bishop there, huh? That does run into an eventual tempo move with d4. What's wrong with capturing here? Anything? Knight takes pawn. I could do that. But, what can I do? Any other considerations? Let's see. d4? No. Knight takes pawn, queen e7. Pawn push. Knight takes pawn, queen here. I could play knight d3. I'm going to play it simple. Just develop. Let's get d4 in. Let's get d4 in. Aha! The admiral is going with c5. Alright. Alright, let's go with d5. They're going to hit me with the Benko Gambit. We're going to see soon enough. e3. Knight c3. I'll go with e3. Just prepare to recapture. Okay, now on this, I played a standard game. Yeah, I played a standard game not too long ago, where in reply to that I played a4. So I'm going to go with a4 again. Let's go bishop here. e3. Okay, that's weakening this f6 square. There's now 2 doors for this bishop to go out, and he better go here. He should go here to cover f6, h6. I don't want to take, because after the pawn recapture, I help the queen bishop out. Aha, closing up the queen side. So, do I play b3 and a quick bishop here? Or what? Maybe knight here. Actually, why wouldn't you play knight here right away? You goof. You can't go to these two. I should probably go here right away. And I'm saying this because also I think I want to lend support to d5 with e4 if it's challenged. This knight belongs here now for sure. So does this pawn. And before the bishop gets on that diagonal, let's get this. And then bishop to b2. I could play e4. Let's see. e3, e4. I do have e4, don't I? I'm going to go with e4. I'm going to be more aggressive. My opponent didn't stop me from getting this advance in. I think I want to open the position also because they have weakened their king. Let's get here. Bishop b2. He is unprotected. This is super weakening. Can't castle so easily now. And I think this is my cue to open the position in this game. Let's get d4 in right now. I'm not sure where my bishop belongs, but I'm pretty sure I know where my rook belongs. Yeah, let's go here and then bishop d3. Now, I may want to be a little bit careful because now that their bishop's protected and mine's unprotected, I might be tactically vulnerable. e4, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes here. Bishop takes rook, I think I should be okay. Or should I just bring my knight out first? E4 or knight to f3 is what I'm considering. Maybe e4. Yeah, let's go with e4. Yeah, let's go with e4. Hang on. I'm not sure. Does it really matter? It probably does. It probably does matter. Hang on. If I go knight here, and then with this push next, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes here, knight takes, knight with check. I don't know. Let's do e4. Can't work out all those little details. This queen, after I capture here, I could gain a tempo against the queen. I think I want to take now before e6 and they get to recapture with their e-pawn. Let's do this so that I could gain a tempo eventually against their queen. I was expecting e6. This was my bigger fear with a quick rook here, because it still takes me 3 moves before I'm castled. Bishop here. I'm still looking at these little tricks against my bishop. I don't see him, though. Bishop takes. I could always play queen c2 and just support. But I think I want to get a kingside kingside minor piece in. Let's see. Bishop to d3. I don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah, let's go with that. Bishop d3 it is. I'm going to go with bishop d2, and then rook c1. Dark square bishop challenge. I'm going to keep the tension. Okay, knight here. Knight takes pawn. Bishop takes bishop. Knight takes knight. Now, at the end of that, what is that really? 2 minor pieces. I'm up the. They have a pawn for it, but they'd be down the exchange. Knight here, knight takes pawn. Oh, that's right, I could highlight. That was a missed mouse click, but you could actually highlight during the game. So knight takes here. You could do some analysis during the game. Let's see, knight takes here, bishop takes here. I won't do that, though. That's right-click stuff. I think just knight f3. Knight takes pawn, bishop takes bishop. Knight takes knight. Bishop takes rook. Takes here. I get a bishop, knight, and a rook, and they get a bishop and 2 knights. They get a pawn and 2 knights and a bishop. And I get knight, bishop, and a rook. I should be okay with that. Or I am okay with that. Okay, this is very awkward. Obstructing that pawn here. I'm not going to capture. Actually, maybe I should capture, because at the end of it I could play queen h5 check. And that's serious trouble, isn't it? Yeah, that's serious trouble. I could do this right now. Pawn takes. And okay, they're castling. I don't think there is a better square for my bishop than here. There's no pin that I have to break or anything. Let's take like this. Notice with the bishop, I didn't have to fear any check here now. I could take here. Queen here threatens mate. Knight here. I think I just take, though. Knight takes pawn. Queen here. I could just move away. I could also just jump in here, actually. I'm going to take. Knight takes e5. I think it's time to just castle. Yep. Pawn push, huh? Wow. This is really opening up the position. I could land here with check at some stage. Could also insert this move. Before capturing on this square, knight here, followed by rook here. Ooh, that's dangerous, and that's very forcing. I think this is good. How do you defend against a knight getting into c7? I don't think you do. Let's do that. Rook c1 next, and now queen h5. If not careful, I could actually just win on the next move. No? Queen f7 ideas? Okay, I can't allow this fork. I think it's time to take. And at the end of it, reposition my knight to d4. Okay, this is crumbling now. I take the bishop and then scoop up that rook next. I think I take here first. Yeah. Take here first. Now, what about in this position? The last game that was just on screen there, very similar to this one here. Bishop takes bishop, and then knight here to here. I have time for that, right? I should. If I do this right away, I drop b2. I'm inviting the rook a little bit forward, but bishop takes, rook takes, knight e2, bishop g4. Could throw a question to the bishop. He drops back, queen d2. It should be okay. Aha, and now rook here. At the very least, I'll pick up the dark square bishop, no? Actually, what about pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, queen takes, bishop c3? The queen has to go back here to still keep an eye on this square, and then I take the knight and saddle black with doubled f-pawns. Yeah, that's got to be real good. This is also a square available. Now queen takes rook, queen takes pawn. I'm up a rook. I mean, I could drop back here. Bishop e2, they're only playing with one piece, and it is just a check. Bishop here, queen takes, pawn, knight here, everything's defended. My queen returns very soon. In fact, why'd even consider that? I could just maybe capture the knight. No, not quite. Hang on. Here, queen takes, pawn, bishop e2. Otherwise, I drop my bishop, but at the end of it, I have a threat on their knight. Okay. Isn't this bishop biting on a rock? I think black needed to do this. I don't have to recalculate this capture here. I don't believe. Let's get on with castling. Alright, and now just drop bishop back. There is no queen takes c2. They have to worry about their knight. Okay, now my idea was here. I don't think I should spend any more time on recalculating. What's this rook doing? How about rook here? Preparing the e5 break. Should I stop knight here to here stuff? Maybe. Let me insert this. I think it's a useful move. It's a flight square. Knight takes, queen takes, bishop here was my idea. Let's do it. There, I should take, right? And then after the bishop recaptures, bishop h6. And if queen recaptures, bishop g5. I could play bishop check here. Oops. I could hold off on... No, I shouldn't hold off on that. Bishop check, king here, I give this check. Could take advantage of that pin. Bishop c3 was my idea. Bishop h6 was my idea here. Am I running into some trouble, although, with knight c6? Bishop here, knight c6. This is hit 3 times. I don't see how I defended a 3rd time, and I don't know that I want to push, open up this diagonal, and open up the door for this bishop as a result after takes. Maybe I should go a little bit more conservative, just reinforcing this d4 pawn. Let's consider maybe a situation where I sack a pawn, just to make life difficult for them completing their development, kingside castle. Bishop h6, knight c6, bishop e2, castle, knight takes, bishop takes, the queens are off, and my bishop's here, they're up a pawn. They have difficulty getting their bishop out. I don't know that I really like that, with the queens being off. I think I should just lend support to d4. I was mistaken to think that this would be a good reply. I don't think I should go with that. Actually, let me start with... yeah, let's go with this and then queen to d2. Yeah, I thought you might do that. Why not? Okay, well, this was my idea. Throw a question to that bishop for starters. I think this is a useful move. Light square reasons as well. Okay, so the knight's ready to be a pest, jumping into f4. I think I take here first. Okay, we're still here. And now rook here, queen here. I think rook here to meet knight f4 with bishop back. This is a good reorganization of the pieces. And is everybody still thinking? Everybody else must be thinking if I'm still on board with this game here. Otherwise it would jump over, right? Okay. Oh, now it's a developing move, but not the more aggressive one. If I knew this was going to be played, maybe I should have done this. Then again, maybe he wouldn't have played here if I went here. Alright, where's my bishop belong? Should I play queen d2? And then rook d1, reinforce here first? Is this an idea, g3, bishop g2? Try and make it difficult for them to get their queen bishop out? Let's go here. Alright, I'm going to take with my bishop. I don't want to be opposite their rook. I want to also prevent the d4 break. Okay, oh, we're still here. Okay. Queen there. This was my idea. Chop the knight. And then if here I do this. Ooh. Hang on for a moment, though. The bishop takes. What about queen takes? And on knight check, king here, I take the rook, bishop b4 check? No. That can't be right, can it? Let's see. I just want to be mindful of any counterattacking ideas black might have. Takes here, pawn takes, and then I'd be satisfied with just a positional advantage in that of the pawn structure. Let's see. Bishop takes, queen takes, knight c7, king here. If I take the rook, bishop b4 check is a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe a lot uncomfortable. There's even queen takes pawn. Threatening bishop b4 with mate. Um, didn't really consider this stuff here. Maybe I should get one move in. I could think about taking this knight one move later. I think that's a better option. I can also still just play this position against this isolated pawn and the awkward placement of the queen obstructing the bishop. So I think I'm going to take a U-turn here. I'm going to rethink this one and not go in for takes and then knight here. Anticipating some counterattacking on my queenside dark squares and giving my king a problem. Let's play here. Watch out for knight e4. And this is maybe now back on, because on a bishop b4 check I have king f1, and I'm a bit more coordinated. Alright, this is hit, but it's defended. Where are the strikes? c5 here. I might want to consider this now. Oops. Moving my bishop now? Again? I think I might want to do that. Although c5, maybe just rook to d1. Bishop here, c5 takes, queen takes, bishop takes. Let's do this. Just reinforce my d4 pawn. Okay. Now they're going with that break. Okay. Are they going to do this and then knight here? I don't know. Is this an idea? No, I don't know about that. What to do against the Admiral? I could try to get on the dark squares here. Who would benefit if the queens were exchanged? I don't have too bright a bishop. Yeah, he is a bad man. Yes, he is. All my pawns are in his way. I do have the space advantage, though. That's my one claim to, well, that's the one asset I have, I guess you could say. I'm not so sure how well this bishop is. Both of our bishops aren't that bright. Takes? I don't want to open this up. How about developing? You didn't finish your development. Or should I consider bishop back and then g3? Just to keep that pesky knight out of here. Maybe. Let's actually do that. Retreat. Okay, now I think I really do want to just take here. And then you definitely have to take with the pawn. Yeah, let's take here now. Now we're taking there, and now I think we're completing development, jumping our queen right up to d4. However, queen here, rook here, maybe bishop here first. Let's do bishop here first. Boxes out the knight, queen d4 next. Was I mistaken to say earlier that there were two games that looked similar? Maybe it was because it flickered, but it was really still going to the same game. Anyhow, I can't go here now, so now I have to react to b5, I'm pretty sure. Well, I have queen here, but bishop here. Let's not get fancy. Let's move. I don't have all day. Bishop e2? Sure. Alright. How are we looking on the clock here? You can scroll down and see the current games. Ah, that's right. Look at that. The current games. Oh, you know what that means. Oh, one of my opponents resigned. I don't think they lost on time. I think they resigned that one where I captured the rook in the corner. I thought they were. I thought it would still come up the game to show that it was resigned, or they resigned. Okay, so I'm working with 4 games right now. Okay, you just couldn't see it. I had to scroll there. Alright, so I knew that this was possible. Queen block was my idea. I don't want to drop this pawn. And let's play this. We're going to play an ending. I didn't have time to get a pre-move in there. Let's go with queen here. And rook there, huh? Alrighty. What about queen c2? Okay, this is the game that I have the least amount of time, right? 8:43. Okay. Okay, queen f6. Not allowed to get on those dark squares. Rook here drops a rook. Let's not drop a rook. Have to be careful of knight f4 and then taking here. My knight is defended with this knight, though. Alright, I think I might do this. It seems a little odd. I'm going to do it. I have an idea of rook here and then doubling on the e-file. Okay. Now I think getting my last piece working. Rook here. This is a half-open file. And I think just castle. H4, H5? Is that an idea? It might be an idea, actually. Huh. Bishop c6, h5, bishop takes knight. Can't take like this. How about we do this first? Let's just... h4, bishop c6. Yeah, let's try this. Let's just do b3. Okay. Now, maybe I should move forward now. Here, run into that stuff. Just drop back. Bishop here. There's even ideas of h5 and then sacks here. Let's just drop back. It seems most natural. Why not? Alrighty. Bishop there. Alright. I want my pawns around to watch over my dark squares. Let's do this. I don't want to help develop their dark square bishop. Bishop there is a mysterious move. I'm going to go down with this idea now. Let's try h4, h5. I could still castle. These two pawns would act as a good shelter for my king. I have control over the center, so this is maybe what allows me to do some type of a flank attack. Kingside attacks. Alright, let's recapture. And so I'm trying to... My opponent has the bishop pair, but I think I'm the better side. This is a nice knight, and they have these double isolated pawns. What would I like to have happen, ideally? I think a light square bishop exchange, and then plop a knight on f5, and there he goes, and there he will stay for the rest of the game. Could be reinforced. h3, g4. Can improve my king position. I'm looking for maybe a light square bishop exchange is the short story in this one. Queenside castle. Now I could definitely get that in. Bishop here, check. Let's do it. That's running right into what I wanted to have happen. Bishop check. And get that recapture in. So this is a monster knight. Look at how it negates the bishop. It's a whole... Okay. Some natural stuff coming up. King d3, rook c1, maybe doubling on the c file, probably doubling on the c file. On rook g8, on rook g8. Okay, maybe my knight is actually going to be forced away from the f5 square. Rook g8 to g5 might be an idea. I don't know if I have time for h3 and g4. This isn't a bad move either, dropping into d4. Whoa, you could still do that, right? I think that's a mistake. Because at the end of it, I play rook to d3, and then get this pawn. Queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes. Their idea is to take advantage of this being unprotected? Actually, it's not even unprotected. What am I missing here? Queen takes, queen, pawn takes, rook takes. This rook is protected. Initially, I thought the idea was to take. But I'm even in a position to recapture like this. My knight's defending here. Isn't this just a mistake? What am I missing? Let me just double check things here. I mean, this was one of the ideas I had, not just any rook move to prepare a doubling on the e-file, but I wanted to watch over this possibility of a queen jumping here at some point. Queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes, pawn takes, rook takes rook, knight takes rook. I don't see the idea. I'm going to take the queen. Let's take that queen. Okay, they're stopping this idea cold. Oh, I could play bishop here. The bishop has to go back. And then queen here. I have nice control over the dark squares. Alright, let's go with that. Or just castle. Let's do this first. Get to h6. Okay, rook takes pawn. Let's stop trying to think so much on this one. Okay, they're going to get rid of their isolated pawn. Is that what they're telling me? Queen here? Probably something the computer would do. Just moving forward, throwing a punch here. Why wouldn't I do it? Is there any reason not to do this? Put pressure on something? My first reaction was just dropping back here. The conservative approach. I also keep pressure on this pawn. I don't have a lot of time. Okay. Oh, after here my bishop's unprotected. Let's definitely do this, actually. I don't want the d5 break and something taking advantage of my bishop. Okay, that's their idea, to put pressure on this pawn here, but I do have my knight to defend. It is a bit passive, but what about taking here now and then putting pressure on this pawn? What's this knight up to? So I'm up a pawn in this position. How about rook here? No, rook here, knight here. Maybe g3, keep the knight out altogether. Let's start with that. Kill the knight. Yeah, let's play g3 there. Okay, that, and let's take... They're getting that break in, aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay, the only advantage I maybe have is that I have a flight square and they don't. It's not the greatest flight square, but Okay, takes, knight back here. It's interesting. There's some tricks in mind with like knight check, and at the end they take here, but they still have a back rank issue. Wow. Pawn takes, knight takes, bishop here. Knight f3 or here, I could just take. If they take twice here, at the end I go back here with mate. I think I have the timing right. What to do? This seems very active and a nice improving move with the queen. Okay. I think h3 and g4. Yeah, let's get that in. Oh, was not expecting that. Gonna have a minor piece ending alone. Up bishop here, rook takes, queen here. Rook takes, rook takes. I have d1 protected. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, they're stopping this g4 idea, although I could still play it. The rook is tied down to the defense of that bishop. I think I should still play this. Knight there, back. Okay, now I think I need to get on with castling. Let's castle in this one. Rook there. My idea was queen e1. I gotta move faster. I gotta pick up the pace here. Move forward. What about rook here? I have this covered enough. Let's move forward here. Okay, c5 I could take. And think about this. They're in a pin now. There's also these checks that are available. Okay, bishop there. Rook here to here, but then my rook is unprotected. I think rook check here and then rook c2. Knight check, knight here stuff. Yeah, let's go with this. Rook c2 next. Okay, takes here. Their knight is going to be such a pest right there on d4. Let me tell you. It's definitely going to be a pest. Okay. Rook takes rook. What else is there? Alright, let's take their rook. Their knight's repositioning here. And now, how do I make progress here? Rook here, for starters. Takes, and then something here. Let's just try this. Let's just try that. Okay, and now here. It's tricky. Rook here, I'm threatening this stuff. This knight's such a pain. He really is. Bishop back here. Don't like that. Let's maybe do this first. I don't really know. Okay, this was my idea. could be in some trouble here, actually. Yeah, I think there might be a good move upcoming here. My opponent's flying in this one. I feel like getting out of knight checks. Huh. H5 is going to happen soon. I gotta start moving much faster. This is not going to turn out well at all. Okay. What is the first thing that comes to mind here? How about queen here? Remind them of their back rank. There. Maybe I should do this. Get their bishop off that diagonal. I gotta do quicker moves. Okay, what about takes with this knight? So I have this square, although bishop here. Maybe I still just do this. Open up the e-file, welcome some exchanges. Let's go with this. Rook there, knight here was my idea. Scratch that. Let's defend my extra pawn. What about... oh, I don't know. I really don't know. I want to get out of knight checks. Let's go here. Maybe rook d1 next. I guess. I gotta recapture. I gotta move my knight. Or do I? Probably here. Queen trade? Sure. Okay. What next? More trades, huh? Could go here, and that knight's in a pin. F5 a pain? Now let them try to untangle. Here, knight takes knight. Rook takes rook, knight takes knight. Just move, take a piece. Queen's hitting here. I guess I'm having to come back over here. B2 is maybe hit at some stage. I don't know. So they're being a big pest. A big pest. Bishop here, king f1. And then knight d2. Our rook trade. Bishop here, knight e4, knight takes knight, rook check, and then a recapture. I don't want the rook getting active. I don't know if this is good to have the structure change like that, but oh well. All right. Let's go here and defend g4. My knight probably belongs right here in the center, dark square. Yeah. What a pesky opponent. Rook here. Alright, let's do this. Throwing a punch now at their pawn, but they play h5 as soon as I do that. Let's put some pressure on their knight, I guess. Less than 2 minutes. Okay, I gotta do that. 2 minutes in this one as well. My goodness. The alarms are sounding. Time pressure sounds. I don't know if you heard that in the background. You probably did. Yeah, I definitely have to move faster. I'll be living off of the increment, and that's not going to be fun at all. So I got to move quicker. Definitely. Alrighty. Yeah. That's a good move, for sure. I'm pretty much in big trouble now. Huh. F2 is going to be hit, and I'm going to be completely passive. I don't have this check now anymore. I don't think capturing is a good idea. Let's try this. Yeah, I'm dropping B2. That one's not turning out good at all. Let's do this. Knight there. Let's do bishop here. 232. Maybe I could think about this at some stage, yeah. Queen here, queen check. I think I have to try this move. Maybe I get some rook activity. Yeah. There, huh? Let's defend this. Okay, I think I've officially consolidated in this game here. Against the force. This time went by really fast. 20 minutes to start. Spent a lot of time in the early stage. Many of them. This one's on move 28. Okay. I guess my other opponents are still thinking. Yeah. Still thinking. Puhovic, the Admiral, Mad Cow. They're thinking. Let's see. Gotta recapture. And what do we do with this? Let's just go here for right now. Knight there. Yeah, he's a giant pest. I guess here? Wow. Maybe. I guess this. Wow. King towards the center. Bishop there hits the rook. Huh. Let's go up here, where my rook is defended. He could be attacked. Yeah, I thought that might happen. Pawn push. There's going to be some tricky knight stuff. I got to try something. Even if it's wrong, try it. Let's come over here, attack those double isolated pawns. Knight here to here. Let's maybe get this move in. Before they play their pawn up to a5 and fix all my pawns on a light square. Now at least I have this break in mind. I think I have to take. So they're right behind their passed pawn. I gotta come over here. It's not fun. Definitely isn't fun. Yeah, I probably gotta go here. I'm on the defensive in that one for sure. And knight here to here. I guess we'll try that. Yeah. Tough day at the office. King needs to contribute. Let's go, king. There. Knight here to here. No, my knight is too good. I'm not going to give him up for that bishop so easily. Yeah, this is probably just GG. Knight here. Some exchanges. I gotta do this. And, okay. Bishop here. I think so. Rook check. I guess I gotta go here. 243. Okay, I gained some time on that. Let's take here. All right. This is a scary pawn, isn't it? Okay, gotta recapture that guy. I'm up a pawn. Let's go here. I run into some forks. Knight c3, rook check, knight c3. Probably here then. Here. Bishop takes, gotta recapture. That's a passed pawn. Kings are approaching, aren't they? I think I gotta get this guy up to a light square. Now. Here. No. If I go here, there's rook here. Ouch. I think I have to come back over then. King here, rook c1. King here. Wait, king b3, rook c1. King a2, knight c3. Game over for me. I think I gotta go king d2. Okay. Knight c3, I take the pawn. Alright. Bishop there trying to get here, huh? Okay. Let's stop this first. I don't want to move my pawn off of e3. It's important I watch over d4. Let me box out their knight. I could play c5. I want to stop knight e4, though. That's taken with check. Let's take. Get my king towards the center. I could take here and be on the bishop. Could also do knight here, actually. Just take a pawn. I have a passed f pawn now. This seems right. This seems right, although, bishop here, knight c3, rook takes pawn. Oh, there isn't rook check, because I take the knight. Am I getting this pawn, actually, with bishop d1? Let's try it. Approach with the king. Go after this pawn? Let's do this. Rook here is maybe an idea to trade rooks. The king is offsides. 2 minutes in this one. Okay. We're getting there. Fortunately, they're all endings. So I could at least play quicker, even if they're not the best moves. It's easier to play with these remaining games. I don't know. My king is going to really have to take a hike. I think I have to start with let's go here. Yeah, trickiness. Rook takes, knight here. Let's box out that knight and then scoop up the pawn next. I guess I'm getting that pawn after all. King position? I don't see why not. You can think about g4, g5 also. Excuse me, sorry about that. Don't know how loud it is, but I don't want to do this. I give up that square. Let's get g4, g5 in. Kick that knight away. What a pesky player. King here. Takes knight here. Let's do this. Rook there. Alright. Let me actually go after this pawn here. Did I have that on the last move? Maybe. Kick the knight away? King position. Maybe my king wants to enter on f6. After knight here or something. They probably want to do that. I'm going to keep the tension. Maybe even king g5. Okay. Takes, knight here, bishop here. My opponent's being a pest. It's a very good idea. Okay. You know what I could think about? b4, a timely b4. Tough to calculate, though. Gonna take, I guess. One wrong step and you're big trouble. Bishop here, rook takes. Knight here. Maybe this. It's tough. Very tough. Rook back. Let's try this. It seems very slow, but okay, let's try it. Less than a minute. I gotta start making moves here. There. Let's take king e5. Okay, I could take this pawn. My knight guards that pawn here. There. Bishop here now. I guess this. Let's approach that f7 pawn. Less than a minute in all games. Okay, let's just go here temporarily. Bank some time. This is a time banking strategy. Oh, man. Time banking. Instead of time burners, time banking. Time banking. Oh, I'm dead. That tricky knight gets you every time. Knight here and knight takes pawn. I gotta give up this pawn. What can you do? Well, I'm still gonna try to hold a draw on this one. That's the best I could hope for. If I move my pawn, knight d2, and see you later, bishop. See you later, bishop. Do not allow the minor piece exchanges. Keep my king on a dark square. Stay out of a fork. And let's actually land a fork here. Let's get some trades in. Get a pre-move in there. Bishop there. Here's met with this. Let's go back. Right there. I guess here. Pawn push, huh? This one's probably going to be a draw. Oh, no, I could try and get after this pawn. Hang on, hang on. Maybe. Tough spot. I think I have to take knight there. I want my bishop real far away. Let's do that. And now, interesting position. Here, here, here. 30 seconds. I'm gonna lose a pawn, I think. Actually. Bishop here. It takes me forever to track that pawn down. Oh man. 11 seconds. Pressure on that knight, I guess? Huh. I guess throw him in the corner. I only have like 30 seconds now in that Admiral game. Oh, I don't know. King here, I guess. Yeah, this one. Oh! They allowed me to get to d2. King e3, and I would have been in some big trouble, no? That was very surprising. If you didn't hear it in my voice. Oh, was it surprising? Because I couldn't tell by how you responded there. Alright, let's go. Let's trade. There's only 2 games. Oh, there's only 2 games. I guess that guy resigned in the other one. War, force of will, something. I think I'm winning now. Because I have all day. I don't have to do that right away. Let's do this. Here, here, here. Hunt down that fixed pawn. Oh! Now I'm definitely losing in this one. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, because now it's simplified or I'm losing this. Ah, I missed that move. Maybe still lost. But yeah, this one's... I'm crunched here. I should, let me just move and get on to the other one where I have 25 seconds. Okay, let's not lose on time on this one. Maybe I should focus on just this one. Yeah, that might be a good idea. I can't hold a draw here, can I? Let's maybe just dance around a little bit. I'm done with this one. 2 pawns is too many. I guess we'll keep some pressure here. Knight here, king here. Yeah, I mean, this is resignable. Let's see the finishing touch, I guess. Yeah, it's a slow death. It certainly is a slow death. It's easy to play, though, for me at least. My opponent's still thinking over here. Yeah. Sure, we'll take that guy. They're just going to keep their pawns on dark squares. I'll play it out. Let's. It'll be instructive to see how black does it. Do have the time. Just easy to play. Just shuffling. I guess my opponent in the other game is still moving. I don't know. Here, I guess. Yeah, they're ready to push their pawns. They're still thinking in this game here. The Admiral. There's a check. No stalemate tricks. Oh, I think now's the time to resign. Play it out. Maybe even let him mate me. My opponent's still thinking in this one. Pawn push. Okay, they made a move here. This is the game I should be focusing on. My opponent's offering a draw. I definitely don't want a draw. No, because I get to weasel around here. Here. Maybe even here in some cases. Oh, I only had 8 seconds. Alright, it's time to resign in this one. GG. I resigned, so let's, there's only one game remaining. Let me jump over to this. Okay, I wasn't sure in this last one if I should have moved king here or bishop here. 29 seconds, but okay. This is the last one. I get to focus on this. Bishop here. Here to here. Let's see. Maybe they're going to try to stop me from getting to this square. It's possible. Notice that if this ending, if we had this position here with these pawns shifted, my pawn here, black pawn here, this is completely dead. This is the only thing I have to bite at. This pawn being fixed on a light square. Well, what are the moves I think black should be considering? Bishop here for one, king here, and I don't think there's any more. Any pawn moves? No. So king here just to box king out, or bishop here to stop my bishop from weaseling in. Can I force the king to, yeah, okay. Maybe I should actually start with, let's start with this. Just box the king out a little bit. I was ready. I was thinking it was going to shift over to another game. Not the case. This is the last one. Okay, so... I'm going to keep my bishop where? 22 seconds. All right, let's try something here. I feel like there should be some win. It's tough to get at this pawn. Wonder if I could try something with like, my opponent's never going to let me get king f4 in, but king f4, bishop here, and then here. You know, something along those lines, where if the bishop trade, my king will end up here. Their king is outflanking my king, but I'm really quick to grab this guy, and he's only 3 away. Yeah. I think I might have to come over in this direction to try b4. I think that's a way I could actually force this bishop to do something else. Let's do this for starters. They're going to repeat. I'm not going to allow that though. This is only once, right? If I go here, just to make sure, let's go here and then here. Force their bishop to move. And I'm going to do this. Sneak over to c3, and I'm going to try the b4 break and see if I could try something. In fact, actually, I'm seeing something with bishop a4 after I have the b4 move in. King c3, b4, and then this is a new avenue to sneak into this pawn here. Really? You could do that? Bishop takes, king takes. Here. Takes, king takes here. King e5 here. King e4 push, pawn takes. There's a little stalemate trick. If the king is on here and I'm ever moving to c3, the king would be in stalemate. And I have to take that bishop now. Man, I guess I'm never going to have a chance to do this push. Less than 10. I can't allow bishop c2. I got to exchange bishops now. They have a little stalemate trick. Huh. Let's go here for starters. King here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Hang on. 1. I have 24 seconds to calculate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm there first. My queen is here. Let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, they didn't do that. Okay. They're just going to keep opposition, right? Here, here, and then opposition indefinitely. Hmm, 5 seconds. Let's shuffle a little bit. Should probably move a little bit sooner before 2 seconds is remaining only. Takes a little bit of time for it to register. Yeah. All right, let's try this. All right, I'm going to try this here. I'm going to shoot for b4. I'm just trying to figure out some tempo ideas here. Here, king e4, here. Here, king e5. Here, king e4. b4. All right, I'm going to try the break with b4. I really would have liked to have tried this when the bishops were still on board. I think that might have been an idea. A very good idea to get in here. I saw it a bit late, and they got that bishop f5 move in. I'd be curious to see what the computer would have to say about that position with the bishop still on board. So, yeah, as mentioned, there is this drawing resource where if the king gets on this square, the black king, after these pawns are exchanged, my b and c pawn, if their king is here and I'm ever playing king c3, that's stalemate. My pawns control these two. So what they're doing is calculating, well, I'm not sure what there is to calculate. I don't know if there is a big difference between these two here. I'll try to do a pawn push if there's no pressure on these two here. That's what I'm shooting for. Ooh. That's the direction they're going in? Huh. That's surprising. They're coming over here. Can't return now, right? Maybe you still could. King here. Let's see what they come up with. There's no reason to accept a draw in this one. Let's play it out a little bit more. There is one idea left in the position with this break. Because if these pawns are exchanged, an idea of coming back over here is back on because of this pawn push with creating a passed pawn even though I lose a pawn. Whereas before, if we're over here and I try that break to get a passed pawn of my own and giving up a pawn in the with that idea, their pawn is very fast. Here takes, they're 3 steps away, but without their C pawn and without my B pawn, some little king maneuver over here, the king has to be careful of this break still. Let's see what they come up with. They're at the 4-minute mark. So, last game. Alrighty, let's see how this finishes up. Against the Admiral. Yeah, one thing I would have been neat to, well, I think it would be a nice thing to have where when one of the simul games finishes, it at least pops it up to show that it's a finished game just once, and then when you like it just comes up for maybe a few seconds or not even 2 seconds just saying they resigned or whatever. Because for a while I didn't realize that the first opponent where I got that rook in the corner there playing as white, I got their rook in the corner. I didn't realize I was done playing with him for a while. I had to scroll down. But of course I don't have my window all big, so if I had it, they do have that thing on the bottom, so I should probably just be checking on the bottom from time to time to see. So there is a way to find out, but anyhow, I guess it's a little bit of a mystery as to whether or not they resigned or they ran out of time. I believe it's a case where they just resigned. So they're trying that. Coming back over to f6, I think it's the right idea. Yeah, I think this is gotta try b4. b4, king e5. Yeah, I think this is a draw now. Alright, let's get on with it. And is there any little fancy thing I could try here? I don't think so. I think it's very clean now. For as long as the king keeps pressure on this square, this pawn, I could never push. Can't enter. One last think of it. This one here. I'll offer a draw. King e4, right? They're going to do king e4. King e4, I'll accept a draw. He just keeps pressure on this point here, and I got nothing. Yeah, if he plays king e4, I'm just going to offer a draw myself. They have a draw on board right now. Yeah, I'll accept it. There's nothing to do here. All right. That was actually very, very smooth when compared to the last simul I did. So I'm forgetting all the names that took part in this, but to the 5 of you who played in this simul, GG's. Very good.